place at the wrong time. The reason why a person was caught in the wrong place at the wrong time is because they wasn't paying attention to their surroundings.
Mm.
They just going through life not caring about anything and thinking everything is peaches and cream. Even though you might not be doing anything, you got to pay attention to what is going on, because this is why I tell my kids, everybody's not a friend. You can have people that you know, and they could be an acquaintance.
Yes.
They could be even somebody that you know a long time ago and y'all met back up. Does not make them a friend, because you don't know what they got going on in their lives. They can be beefing with
Is he? Hold on. Is he
somebody.
breaking
They
up?
can have a they can have an
No, he was
argument
clear.
or anything.
Okay, I
Hold on,
You
you
might.
just
cut him
gotta
right in
My
this when he
bad.
was
understand.
talking.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
the people that you meet in life, you got
My
to
bad, free.
understand that everybody has their own background that they have. You don't know what they got going on in their own personal life, so you always got to pay attention to the people that you hang around, the people that you be around. This is the reason why I tell my kids, pay attention to your surroundings, because just because you're not beefing with anybody doesn't mean that the person standing next to you doesn't have a beef with somebody. So you always
Hmm.
got to watch what you're doing and the people
Talk
that
to
you hang
him.
around.
Yeah, I mean, what you got on the B3? I know you heard about the traffic news with we seen Charlie Kirk get under live, man, by some crazy radical left person. What do you think about
Man, I've been working all day, man. I'm sorry to hear this. Wow. It's sad, man. I mean, unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of miss everything what everybody said, but I'll just say this. Uh, these people really, they don't value life, man. That's why you really have to be cognizant of how you carrying yourself. Like Free was saying, your surroundings, who you dealing with, because at the end of the day, you could you could upset the wrong person out here, and almost and pretty much you lose your life, all because you wasn't cognizant of who you was dealing with. So that's why I always keep my head on a swivel. But one thing's for certain, I always try to treat people a certain way. And if I can identify that something is wrong with a person, or I can see that something ain't right, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I don't know you, I'm not gonna deal with you. If I don't, I'm gonna keep my distance from you, because that's trouble. You can't help everybody, right? But
it?
ultimately, you gotta have discernment to understand who you supposed to be, whose life you're supposed to be in, or whose life who's supposed to be in your life. You gotta discern those things. So hey, that's sad, man. A brother
It
had to
is
lose his
sad.
life. That's
Shout
unfortunate,
out
man.
to the brother Boxing Kangaroo. He said, salute legends. He said, R.I.P. Charlie. Freedom of speech came at a cost for this young man's family. But see, this is my thing too, though.
Wow.
On the flip side, you got to watch what you say
Oh my
nowadays.
God. Thank you.
People will
Oh
walk.
my God. Go ahead, my bad.
I mean, you got to watch what you say. There's some unstable people in the world that'll come up and pull up and do something to you. Not only you got to watch your surroundings, like Freezy just told y'all. Cause I told my son the same thing. If he got problems, get him out of my house. Cause they not finna come over here. I'm not finna be in no action movie scene with some young YNs at my house. So my son moved like that. But you gotta watch what you say. You got to watch what you say. And I get it, freedom of speech. I see these activist guys going around filming inside the police departments, and there's nothing they can do. They're exercising their rights, which is fine. You can exercise your rights all you want. But sometimes people get tired of you and they do something to you because there's some unstable people in the world. What BVO just told y'all that. They're just people that these young people just maybe it was an older person. I don't know who actually did it. And salute to Dr. Fields, but I feel like you got to watch what you say too. On the flip side, it's not wrong. It's wrong that how they did them, but on the same token, you got to watch what you say, man. Somebody will walk you down.
I'll say this before I bring my
That's
man right
wild.
side in the house. I'm gonna bring my man right side
Being
in.
honest,
Give me one second because I got to get his thing. But let me say this before I bring right side in here. I think, and Prize is my brother, man. So please don't mistake me talking in this manner as going at him because we brothers. We on the same team. No matter what you see me, you see
it's all
Prize.
good. It's all love. Say what you
So
want to say. Say it
I'll
with your
say this.
chest.
I'll say this, man. It's sad because that is such a feminine way to look at things.
How?
And I've never seen so many men say woman things like that. Because when I was growing up, men said stuff like, say what you want, just don't put your hands on. That's what I used to hear. Don't put your hands on. And it's like it's sad because I'll be honest, I thought Charlie Kirk was a total POS. But guess what? Did he deserve to be unalive? No.
No.
And these be the same and these the same people that say we can't get our rights. We can't do this. At the end of the day, man, we got young men and women who are trying to defy what nature says. And that's what the issue is. Look at my brother Bentley pulling up, and shout out to Bentley, man. One of
Yeah.
the best members you can ever have of the community, man. Shout out to him, man, the king of the
You
doghouse.
need to pull
My
up. He
brother
been
Bentley.
coming up here all this
He
time and
don't
don't
gotta
pull
he
up.
don't gotta he don't gotta pull up, man. He doing what he's supposed to do. We gotta have people in the chat.
Yeah.
So salute to my brother Bentley, man, the king
Brother
of the
Bentley.
doghouse. But I'll say this
Definitely
before I bring
salute
Rice in.
Bentley.
I know right side got something good for. I see he got his orange juice like he about to preach. But no matter what they say, man, you cannot have this feminine energy to where when somebody say something, you want to act violently and you want to be reactive. I'm gonna just be real. I'm going through some stuff now, right? In my life, in my marriage. And you know what's funny? I have to, as a man, say, you know what? I called the situation, so I got to deal with what comes with it. Too many men in life, they wanna just blow past what's going on. If you call something, you got to deal with it. And I hope whoever did this to Charlie rots in hell, because that's crazy, bro. He can't have a conversation with you without you hurting him. Come on, bro.
Hey,
But let me play my man Dub's drop so we can get my man Dub in here.
I do it for the children.
You can take the children and bounce them on their knees. Bounce them on the knee and then sing a melody. The Varnell man, did you mean he's mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my
Man,
God.
shout out to all my brothers up here, man. Somebody got some background, respectfully. I want to start, Prize. I'm shocked at what you just said, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember a time when I came up in an era where they used to say sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Right? Okay, if you want to say words, or man, ain't nobody ever be killed for anything that they say.
Unalignment.
Unalive, excuse my language. I apologize, BBO. I apologize to your show. Unalive for the things that they say. Martin Luther King was unalive for his words.
Yeah.
And so now we sitting here and saying, well, you got to watch what you say. No. Just don't put your hands on me. That's it. As long as you don't put your hands on me, we going to be, I can disagree with you every day and twice on Sundays. The Lord's Day. Excuse my language. Just don't put your hands on me.
Don't touch me.
That's it. And as long as you don't do that, you're gonna be safe. I'm gonna be safe, and we're gonna have we
I
can
know
agree
that's
to
right.
we can agree to disagree. But this individual, Charlie Kirk, and I don't agree with a lot of what Charlie Kirk say. I agree with some of it, you know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is what he provided, the platform he provided people. He went to college campuses, pulled up on them, and said, if you disagree with me, come speak your piece. Tell me why you disagree, and we'll have a discussion about it.
Mm.
People don't want to have discussions no more like that. If it get too tough, no, fuck you. No, excuse my language. I apologize, but it's how they talk. No,
That's
screw
true.
you. Forget you. They don't want to have the conversation. But this brother was going into enemy territory because a lot of these colleges, he's a conservative. Most of these folks that go to college now are more liberal, which is fine. You can have your thought process, your work, but for them to kill the brother the way that they did, unalive. God, my apology, BB. I gotta.
It's all right, man. Speak freely,
just,
man. Take your time.
For them to do this, what it really does it pushes back on freedom of speech, the First
Yeah,
Amendment of this country. That's what it really does. Oh, if I don't like what you say, then hey, I'm gonna pull my piece. Wait, I'm not threatening you.
it's the young
There's
boys.
no threat. There's no threat of harm in this situation. I don't know who did it. I don't know who did it. But there's no threat of harm to anybody out there in that crowd. The threat of harm was to that man.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they do? They unalived this brother simply because they disagreed with his words.
It's crazy.
Where have we gotten to in society that we ain't able to sit here and have conversation where we argue all the time up here? One of the reasons I like talking to y'all because we don't know, we have totally different opinions, whether it's boxing, whatever it is. We all have different opinions. But I'm willing to listen. Now I may say you crazy. I may say that. But at the same time, I still want to hear it because the more opinions I have, the better assessment I can make of a situation. So now you're literally staunching the one thing as individuals that we have an opinion. You're staunching that, and it's embarrassing. It's ridiculous, and I hope they find this dude or whoever it was. I hope they
Yeah.
find him. And hey, I don't believe in the death penalty. I'm not a big fan of it. But hey, sometimes folks need to be made examples of. I'm just saying.
Mm. I want to go back to what real quick. I want to go back to what BVO said. What I said was like women, feminine energy. That's not how what I would do. I'm more with Dub right side. As long as you don't put your hands on me. But what I'm saying is, people nowadays will do something to you because they maybe you're right, BVO. Maybe that is some feminine stuff. We don't know. We don't know who did it or what, but I feel like people be just out expressing they freedom of speech, and somebody that's unstable in the world mentally could take it the wrong way. So and come and do something to you. That's why I was like, but the brother wasn't wrong. I mean, I didn't agree with too much, but he can still say what he want to say. Because I did see a couple clips of him pulling up on them colleges and the young people going back and forth with the kid or whatever. But it's somebody might was just tired of him. It could have been a young person. It could have been a guy, a girl, an old person. I don't really know, but I know it ain't right though. But like you said, that pushback on freedom of speech, we don't want to see that go down and have people shook to talk. But sometimes, man, certain people be saying stuff and something happened to them. But I
I,
feel
I'm a,
bad for his family though.
I, I'm gonna say this and salute to my brother Prize on that. But I used to ride the free bus. Now the free bus is where the gladiators rode. You had to be a man to
Yeah.
ride the free bus because the free bus is gonna drop you off behind what we used to call a dairy mart, was like a convenience store. So it's in the middle of the hood. They're gonna drop you off in the field. So if anybody got something to say on that ride from the school to the free bus, it's about 15 minutes. But it's the longest 15 minutes of your life because all them brothers on there, they be like, I don't want to be like stereotypical, but it was just like a bunch of brothers ready to throw down at any moment. You know what I mean? Free. And anytime somebody said something I didn't like, when I was growing up, I used to hit them in the mouth. This is when I was young in middle school. And what I learned was this. Because I'll be honest, your boy BVO got hit one time out there and I seen stars. Thank God I grabbed him. But the thing I learned from, about that is people can say what they want. Because if anybody, I thought to myself, can punch me that hard where I can see stars, thank God he didn't know I was hurt. Thank God he didn't know I was hurt. Do you know if somebody can punch you that hard off what they saying, it's their right to do that. And I think the thing that people don't understand, freedom is not free. When you see us have these freedoms in America, because we've been so spoiled, we don't even realize that people bleed and pass away for this stuff. It's just that simple, man. When my uncle was in Vietnam, or my father was in Desert Storm, they both could have lost their lives. And freedom is something that we take for granted. And these young kids that we see doing this, they're so feminine. It's a guy from Philly, we call Philly Ducksville. So Duckadoffia, we all know about how they do it in Duckadoffia, where they don't want no real smoke.
Well, get
This
out of
young
here.
kid,
You won't go to Philly and say that. You won't come here and
we
say that. I
gotta
promise you
we
that.
gotta have
I
some fun.
promise y'all that.
We gotta have some fun, man. We
Of
we go
course.
to Duckadoffia anyway. But anyway, moving on. There was a young kid named something Duel, right? And these kids lit him up like a Christmas tree because of what he said. And I asked some young guys at my homeboy's restaurant that work at his diner. I said, "Y'all was mad about the words? Yeah, them words, man. Them words. You gotta pay for them words." And when you hear that, the only person I ever heard get upset about words are women. If you ever had a significant other, you could say something to your significant other and you didn't even mean it like that, and it's your head. So it's just so sad to see the young men think like that, the young women think like that. They feel they can do whatever they want and there's no consequences. No
The-
matter what, Charlie Kirk was a POS, but he's passed away at 31 for nothing. Go ahead, Free.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, yeah. People don't know how to control themselves, their temper, their anger. But I was always taught. I was always taught by my parents, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles. You got to watch what you say, because you was raised properly doesn't mean everybody else was raised properly. So you got to watch the things that you say out your mouth, because you might think it's not offensive, but somebody else take it as offensive. And if somebody else take it as offensive, they might be willing to act on it. So
Hmm.
we look at things the way that we were brought up. Everybody's not brought up the way you were brought up. Everybody don't
Right.
have the same morals and goals that you have in your life. So you got to understand, everybody is different. Everybody's raised different. Everybody has different buttons that be pushed. So that's why my parents always say you got to watch what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think before you speak. Is there going to be a consequence behind what I'm about to say out of my mouth? If there's a consequence, is it good or is it bad? Are you willing to deal with whatever the consequences are? A lot of people so quick to speak instead of thinking before they speak. They just say whatever's on their mind. But at the same token, you got to understand, because you got the freedom to speak doesn't mean that somebody ain't going to come out here and do whatever they feel that they need to do because they felt like you disrespect them. Like I said, everybody is raised differently. Everybody don't have the same morals and goals that you have. Everybody's not brought up the way that you brought up. You might be brought up a way that you can say what's on your mind and is not going to be any consequences. But when you get out into that real world, everybody's not brought up that way.
Hmm.
Don't forget, for just $2.99, a cup of coffee, you guys can be a member of the Doghouse, man. We got some people who's already doing it, man. Sign up for the membership. It's something that we do to support the channel, man. I got some new content coming on that. But I want to ask you this, B3, because one thing about my brother B3 is probably one of the nicest guys you'll meet. And let me ask you this, three, even being a nice guy, how
It
important is
depends
it?
on the day now. It depends on the day.
it
I'm just telling you, it depends on the day.
depends on
Shout
the
out to my
day.
brother Three, man.
Yeah.
Three got a little dog in him. Hey
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
I couldn't
So
hear you finish that. What was you about to say?
no, Pastor Dub came out of nowhere. But no, what I was saying, even a nice guy like you, do you agree with somebody taking someone's life over words? What would you say?
Nah, absolutely not. It's never. I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, the only time I feel like life should be taken is if you're defending yourself or your family. Um, Outside of that, I think it's too many. It's honestly it's a lot of people that's unstable walking around with a lot of weapons,
Mm.
Hmm.
and is everybody wants to have freedom to carry and bear arms until they hear about a school shooting,
Hey,
or
hey, we gotta be careful with that, brother.
well, I mean, this brother just got his head blown off, and this is what it is, and people are not cognizant of these things. It don't have see if it ain't your family, if it ain't your son, nobody care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just news. It's just something that I seen. But let it be your family. Let it be your son. See, man, y'all people will take, man. People don't. There's no value of life no more, man.
They
That's
said
why
they got
I'm.
somebody in custody
Listen,
of some
That
a person
wasn't
of
him. It
interest.
wasn't him. It wasn't him. He's still at large.
Mm.
and I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, you gotta be prize ain't nothing. What nothing said of what prize said was feminine energy, anything like that. Or about men controlling what they say or being cognizant of how people are gonna perceive what you say. is nothing wrong with that. All that means is that you need to be knowledgeable, more knowledgeable than what you. If somebody is determined to unalive you, that means that your message is not coming through clear, bruh. Or what you're representing is not of God. I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh that was a display. I don't think it's feminine energy. I more so think it's demonic, bruh. And it's nasty. I'm gonna say this, man. What you say in 2025 or any time could have ended your life, because what time is, people see your mannerisms. It's not always about what you say, it's what you represent. It's the character that you have. So if you have an upstanding character, people are going to look out for you. But if you with the character that you put it on display for the public is of one of divisiveness, and you're spewing vitriol, then that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get somebody to come up to you and unalive you, because that's the energy that you're putting out. So you better be very cognizant of what you're saying.
I gotta,
Yeah.
I got,
Let me
I
read
gotta
this
say
comment
this.
before you go. Let me read this comment. My man, hold on one second. What did he say? Oh, Champ Ross said, I hate to be old school, but these young kids need some guidance because their parents are not there like they used to be back in the day. My son up for the military 18. Show some respect to the elders.
Hmm.
Next one was my man Straight Fight. Shoot the Straight Fight, another dude who's been here since the start. He said some people are dumb and can't fight on the same level, so ignorant person will be violent because they can't fight on a level of being an actual knowledgeable. But go ahead, Dub. Go ahead, Dub.
I disagree with my brother B3, man, and that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look out for the interview. I'm gonna let B3 interview me on my own show, so y'all look out for that. But the thing that I would disagree with is, man, first things first. It's not like the reason, even talking about guns and those type of things in general. Criminals are gonna have guns. Most of them have them illegally anyways. They don't have they don't they not even supposed to have the gun that they have. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's very important for us to be able to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Especially I know how it is down here. You I don't know too many folks who ain't got a gun. But it ain't like folks just going out unaliving individuals having it. That's my first point. The gun is to protect you against the criminal, the individual. And free, I believe you probably done seen it more than anybody. But the folks that you done had to deal with, they didn't even have a right to have one, right? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so that's the first thing. The second thing is I agree that words are powerful. I definitely agree. Biblically speaking, you know what I'm saying? What they call it, they call the tongue a sword. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Words can cut. At the same time, just because somebody says something to you, don't give you the right to take their life. I don't care what
Mm-hmm.
anybody says to me. I don't have to agree with you. Threatening me, you know what I'm saying, or threatening anybody I love, then I'm not going to sit here and take it to that type of level. I agree that everybody ain't raised the same, but it goes back into the parenting.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons I love being a father now is because I know that my son growing up with the best ability I have, he growing up with the right morals, and he understand folks gonna say some crazy stuff to you, but at the same time, that don't mean you get a chance to hurt them for their words. A lot of times, even when it comes to fighting and all that kind of stuff, people the first thing they get to fighting over is what? Words. And
Right.
see, the thing is the lack of restraint, the lack of control. All this goes into parenting. The way we bring our kids up is very important these days. It's very important, especially with social media, all the things that they can see, and making sure that they understand, man, all that stuff ain't really that ain't most of that stuff, it ain't real life. Folks show you what they want to show you. You know what I'm saying? They may have all this, whatever it is. Whatever it is, they may have it. But at the same time, it comes down to how you raise your kids. And as long as you're raising your kids the right way, instilling them with the right morals, then that tongue being a sword, nah, you done dulled that sword now. You done dulled it. And the reason being is because, all right, I understand who you are now. I'm just not going to deal with you. At the same time, though, for an individual to do what happened here, I mean, it's no way I can say that words caused this. You know what I'm saying? Hate caused this. That's what caused
Yeah,
it. Hate.
I feel like it's
And
hate.
and so shout out to Mr. Chapman in the building. He had to throw us the
The
deuces.
video
Shout
is
out to
really
everybody.
hard to watch, Dub.
I can't. I watched it once and I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done
I'm
watching it.
done. Yeah.
But at the same time, all I'm saying is there's a difference between like ain't no way, man. BBL done said some crazy stuff to me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I done said some crazy stuff to him. Me and Free we'll argue with each other about anything and everything at times. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I done argue with y'all. But it's never a place of hate. It's always a place of, all right, well, I disagree. That's that's what we get understanding from the dialogue. You don't get understanding from taking somebody's life. And so I, I understand what you're saying, but I also feel like, man, certain movements in this country, certain things have happened in this world. I ain't even gonna say this country, this world, that now all of a sudden, I don't know, it just done got strange. I love even the conspiracy show. They always tell you if you want to keep your friends, you don't talk to them about politics, religion, and the money that they make. I believe that those are things you kind of stay away from. Well, hell, that's what why we can't talk about it. Let's talk. That's it. And when we talking about it, my whole thing is why is it a problem for us to disagree? We are all different individuals, all have different backgrounds. I gain more knowledge from individuals who aren't like me. I don't want people to agree with me. Matter of fact, I learn more from a person who disagrees with me. But just because you disagree, and you may be blatant, Hot Rod gonna call me a MF and this and that, and you know, he gonna do all of that. But I still value that young brother opinion. You know what I'm saying? I value the old folks' opinion. And shout out to Mr. Chairman. I don't mean to call you old, Mr. Chairman. But you know, it is what it is. So debate is exactly what we need. And so less debate harms all of us overall. Less conversation harms us. We don't have a chance to see somebody who has a completely different background than we do. We don't have a chance to see their opinion. But now, if you have a different opinion, somebody can just come take you out. Individual said something to me. He said, "Man, they finally got the SOB." I said, "What?
Yeah,
Who would say something crazy like that? Who would say that?"
People that hate them, people that got hatred in
a
them.
coward would say that. A coward would say that.
So all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, man, conversation is much more important than just whether I agree or not. I don't have to agree, but I can learn from you just simply off of conversation. And I think people miss the whole fact of learning and seeing it from a different perspective these days.
Let me say this real quick before we bring my man brother Hill in here. I'll say that for some reason since and people don't probably remember this, but there was a great actor named James Dean who passed away really young. The James Dean disease has just permeated through this brand new culture. It's called something else now. We've seen it with X Tentacion when he got his neck popped off because he wouldn't give up the jewelry. These people are valuing the wrong things. I think what B3 said was powerful in the fact that you got to watch what you say. Um, and I get what Dub is saying you don't. No matter how it go, this brother was trying to have a conversation, and guess what? They took him out the game. He was sitting in a tent having a conversation, and they took him out. So guess what? If that happened to somebody, and I'm gonna be honest, what B3 said was pretty powerful in the fact of if that was a loved one that we knew that got hit like that, come on, bro, we wouldn't be wait for that. But let me move this to another direction. So we all know about what they're doing with all this political stuff and these young kids in Chicago. I want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys think there is like an inherent self hate that we see when it comes to black people? Because people don't realize this. It seems like black people hate each other and they're quick to get violent with each other. But as soon as somebody from our counterparts come around, it's yes, sir, no, sir. But when it's us, oh, I'll knock that N word's head off. I'll hurt that N word. Why do you guys think it's so much violent hate between each other? What do you guys think?
Let's start with Mr. Chairman. I want to hear Mr. Chairman thoughts.
Well, I got noise in the background, so I'm just here rocking with my folks. But I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's the crab in the bucket syndrome, or if it's so far the way that they push the narrative through the things we hear, the things we see, the
Hmm.
things that we have access to on a regular basis, or if it's just coming from a place where of impoverished thinking, living, and substance. But whatever the case may be, it seems like in every aspect of life, through every vehicle or format we seem to tear down us and build them up or build others up, while they're meanwhile putting this in place to tear us down. We just go happy along with it, and that's a problem with me. I've always spoken on that. My tone will never change on that. And I mean, unfortunately, it is something that is in existence. Unfortunately, it's something that needs to be examined and actually talked about, discussed more often. Why do we seem to want to be quick to tear one another down? Why do we not like to build one another up, support one another, love on one another, man? I mean, and I don't understand it. I don't. It's something that I'm not too keen on, but I understand it's something that's powerful and in existence. But man, I gotta bounce out, bro. They calling my name.
Shout out to Mr.
Oh,
Chairman, man.
RTL.
Hey,
Appreciate
I
you.
want, I mean, I don't understand why people do that. But I just got finished watching the video.
hmm.
The one thing that I noticed, it happened in Utah at Utah University. The one thing I noticed, it wasn't that many of our kind there.
Nope.
I
It
didn't
wasn't
see
none of
very
us
many
there.
of our.
We wasn't
Yeah,
there.
It's
no,
Utah, D
I was
free.
just, yeah, I was just looking at the video. I didn't really see that many of our kind there, so I'm not sure if it was one of our kind, but nevertheless, going back to what BBO asked, I think it's it comes from a lot of the stuff that we've been through in our lives. Everything that we've been through in our lives, as far as a black community, it's been nothing but violence. If you go back to the times of slavery all the way up until now, it's been nothing but violence. That's all we've ever seen throughout our lives. So that's what people know how to deal with situations. Things get things get heated, things get out of hand. They quick to resort to physical harm. Nobody ever actually really sat back and just had a conversation to try to fix things. They always resort to physical harm. And it comes from your upbringing, and it comes from a lot of the stuff that you are accustomed to seeing. So when you're accustomed to seeing things, you figure this is how you got to take care of it. You can't just try to talk like coming up in my area, if somebody say they was going to do this, they're going to do that, or they said something bad about you, you don't see anybody say, man, I'm gonna go talk to him and see if we can handle this respectably. No, man, I'm about to go whoop his tail. Ain't no way in the world he said what he said. Nah, I'm not that type of dude. You're not gonna sit here and just say whatever you want to say and I'm gonna let it fly. That's how we was brought up. If you was the guy that wanted to go talk things out, you was looked at as a soft individual. You wasn't looked at somebody that a lot of people would respect because they say, "Oh, he's scared to fight. He ain't gonna fight nobody, so we gonna go pick on him." So you had to show that you will throw your hands or you will cause bodily harm in order for people not to bother you. So that's what a lot of this stuff comes from.
I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I'm gonna bring my man CDK and B3, and then we're gonna bring some people in. I remember used to be this guy. He actually passed away, and I remember he was such a smooth talker. Man, catch me ready to knock his head off. He'd say something slick like, "Oh, come on, baby, you know how we do." I can see him now. I can see him now because you. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, it was like a cool thing to wear like your Letterman jacket from like school. Like, like some of us would like do bowling or something stupid just so we can get extra things on our coat, right? And I remember my dude got arrested. So somebody about to give him a case of the beats bad. And I'll never forget, He ended up talking this dude down so good. They end up going to the movies, and they end up, shaking hands. Because back when I was in high school, going bowling with the girls was a big deal. Like come Friday, Saturday, Sunday I wasn't allowed to do nothing. But Friday, Saturday, we about to go out there and bowl with the honeys, man. And I remember like my dude had like talked this dude who was about to give him a bad case of the beat so down to where he was just like, you know what? Maybe I was wrong for how I came at you. Knowing my homeboy had did some foul stuff. And I really miss them young players like that who can talk their way out of everything, man, because you need that. You need people with conflict resolution. You don't need too many BVOs who want to fight and jump on you and throw stuff at you and be extra. You need guys who talking calm, cool, don't raise their voice. You know what I mean? I think we missing that. I don't know, but what you got for me, CDK? You've been pretty quiet, man.
Yeah, I've been listening, you know what I'm saying? One thing I've learned about life, man, sometimes if you sit back and listen and not talking, you'll learn something. So a lot of times I just sit back and listen to everybody and see what everybody got to say and see what I can pick up on, see what somebody's saying is right and see what somebody's saying is wrong. So that's why a lot of times I don't say nothing, but I just be listening. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, in this whole situation, like I said, God rest his soul. And I'm going back to something Pride said. I think nowadays you do have to be careful about what you say. You know what I'm saying? You have to say that. But when you're talking or saying anything, you have to be careful, man. If somebody is looking to do something to you or to cause harm to you, and this guy, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Kirk, whether or not I like what he had to say.
Yeah, I think CDK fell off a cliff. Go ahead,
I, I,
B3.
I was just gonna ask, was it me or was CDK
We
you were
all
breaking
run
up?
into problems,
Hold
can
on,
y'all?
Hold on,
CDK.
CD, you
You,
breaking
you
up, brother. You breaking up.
it sounds like you fell out the Corvette, man. You gotta say what you said again. I couldn't hear.
Can y'all hear me?
We,
Can y'all
we
hear
can't
me?
hear. You gonna have to find a place to
Okay,
Yeah,
stay,
like
stay exactly where,
yeah, you
we
coming
was
through
talking
now.
exactly
about
where you at.
blacks. I think something.
Yeah, your mic is horrible right now, CDK.
And there's a okay. Can you hear me good now?
Yeah, you stay right there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, stay right there where
Okay.
you at.
A lot of times we talk about what blacks are doing, but you got to think about this. A lot of these people that run up in these churches, to run up in these schools, they're not black. A lot of these mass shootings and stuff, they're not black. We're not the only ones that's doing a lot of the stuff that we see being done. And I hate to say it, but that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? Now we do a lot of harm to each other. We do have a lot of hate towards each other. But the problem is that we not only hate each other, we have other people that hate us as well. And that makes it even worse. And it's hard to, you know what I'm saying, when you hate each other and then you got other people against you, that just makes it even worse. That's the real problem that we have, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no love for each other. It's always jealousy. You doing good in life, somebody else don't like it. You know what I'm saying? You have something in life, somebody else don't like it. We gotta cut that type of attitude out. I think it's a bad attitude. You know what I'm saying? We should be cheering and rooting for each other, but we don't know how to do that, man. And these young guys,
Uh,
they have a whole different perspective on life. They don't care about what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Especially as you get older, I've realized now, man, anything you doing good in life, there's somebody always looking and hoping that you fail. So I just feel like, man, we got to keep cheering and rooting for each other. And that's the only way we gonna make it.
That,
I just got some more information on the situation because that's what I've been doing. Y'all saw my head that I've been looking up the situation. And apparently, the authorities caught the individual. This is an old white guy that allegedly did this attack. It's an old white guy. Um,
Mm.
so I mean, this guy looks like he's every bit a good 65 to 70 years old. Um, so it goes back to the things of it's not so much of who you talking about or who you talking to. Is more of you got to watch what you say. Like me and Prize and CDK just said, you got to watch the things you say because you don't understand what effect that they have on individuals. Because we were sitting up here thinking that this was young people, and I'm looking at according to the reports and the pictures. This is an older white guy that did this attack, and so it is not the young folks. It's more so you got to watch out what you say to anybody nowadays, because now it seems like even the old folks are willing to go out there and take you out if you say something that they don't agree with. So you just got to watch what you say to whoever you talking to.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And and they were
That's
saying
all I
free. Let
was
me ask you
saying.
this free.
That's all I was saying. See, you got
Let me ask you this free.
on the
Did
flip
they
side.
say that's the guy that done that? Because I heard that they might have got the wrong guy and all that. So I don't know. But I was looking,
No,
so
no,
I had been watching it for a while.
that's why I say allegedly, because this is what they said allegedly. This is the guy. Somebody caught him on camera. With
Okay.
that did the situation. They said allegedly this is the guy that did this attack, and so they saying that they got the guy. That's why I said when I was looking at the video, I didn't see a lot of Al Khan out there, and like I said, allegedly it's an older white guy that did this,
Mhm.
and
And
he did this
when you
from
see him,
he
there's
did
not
this
a lot
from a
of us out there.
he did this from a distance. This wasn't a close range attack. This was from a distance. They caught him on the building overlooking
Mm.
the event, and
So
he
he a
he, he did it
professional
from the
too. So he a professional now.
yeah. So he might have some military background in him, or he might have some hunting background in him, because they
Yeah.
allegedly he was on a building overlooking the event, and when he did this attack.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm
This
gonna
is
say
like an
this,
assassination, basically.
but let me say this. Let me say this on another note. This is what I want to talk about. Now we growing up now, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine. Do you think what we seeing now with a lot of children is the wrong thing? You think I hear a lot of kids kind of like idolize things. They don't have like any faith in God. You know, I used to love to hear Master P say that, man. Gotta keep your faith in God. You know, I used to try to say it like, but what do you guys think is
Hmm.
going on when we see kids being so materialistic? Like I hear kids ask their mom for like Alexander McQueen's, or they ask their mom for Balenciaga, and it's like this stuff is high fashion. I seen a young lady who was having her prom, and her mom spent $14,000 on prom. That's the cost of a small wedding. My wedding, and 11 years ago was like 25,000. So can you imagine somebody spending 14,000 for a guy she might never see after that prom? What do you guys think about what we seeing with all this decadence, and people just going so crazy with spending money and idolizing things? It's open up for everybody. Everything's up for grabs.
Whoever
I'm
wants
not
God.
spending. I'm not spending $14,000 on any date. Okay, because that's what a prom is. The prom is nothing but a formal date. That's all the prom is. It's
Yeah.
a formal date. I'm not spending 14,000 on any date. I'm not spending more than $100 on any date that I'm going on. I mean, a date is a date. It's
That's
not a
crazy.
guarantee that we're going to be together after this. This is a date. This is not a relationship. This is a date. So I'm not. I mean, my daughter, my sons, they went on a prom. I spent roughly $500. I mean, I had to rent the tuxedos and the cars and things like that. But that was for them. That wasn't for the other people. That was for them. I got my son a tuxedo. I got him a nice rental car. We had the gathering for the family and everything. We took pictures. My same thing with my daughter. I got her a nice little gown for a prom. Got the rental car. We had a nice little gathering for the family, but that was for them. That was something that I celebrate that they did good throughout their entire school career, and they always kept their grades up. So I did something nice for them. This is what they wanted. I did something nice for them. But to spend $14,000, I don't care if I got the money. I'm not spending $14,000. I'm not.
I spent about 700 on my son's free, but
Yeah.
I'm with you, and I have the $14,000. I ain't doing that. You get out of here. 14. They be having this joint laid out like weddings, boy, like BVO said. And I be looking at some of these stuff. My grandmother was looking like, that's what they doing. She's like, well, shoot, we ain't doing all
Mm.
that. I'm like, heck
$14
no, you got to be kidding me. I mean,
$14,000 is a down payment on a
Bro,
house. That's a
bro, I'm about to say you can buy a whole house, but you know where they be coming out of? Road homes, them city homes, not nowhere where you got a grassy yard for the kids. But you got to come in for you got 14 grand to come out that Section 8 house with a $2,000 dress. They renting Lambos, and these young boys is dressing up like they rappers and the athletes and stuff, and nobody got no real money. So that's where it be. That's why the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. Cause everybody want to go spend Balenciaga. You know, I mean, I know I don't talk ish. I've got that stuff. I don't got Balenciaga, but I got a lot of that stuff too. But you know what? I earned my way to do it, and nobody. I don't gotta ask nobody. I just go and do it if I want to buy me a Montclair jacket because that's what I wanted to do. And I put the money aside, and I made the right decision so I could do what I want to do. But I ain't never buy none of that stuff for my son. Never. He's never owned any of that stuff. Never. That's a fact.
Mm.
yeah.
I
I
just
feel
got him his
like
first AP, and that was just because he's doing the right things. But other than that, I ain't never by myself. He not getting Nike and some Jordans. He like LeBron's back in the day. You know that's cool. You know what I mean. I keep him fresh, but I wasn't buying no Alexander McQueen. That's the stuff that I buy. I'm not buying it for no child. They go tear it up. They ain't gonna be worrying about if they gonna rip it or not. No, my dad got it. No, he don't. He got it for himself.
What
yeah.
you say about that,
I feel
Dub?
like
Would you buy
this.
that? Oh,
Oh,
go
go ahead,
ahead,
go ahead, go
CDK.
ahead.
No, go ahead, CDK.
Okay. I was just gonna say I feel like this. I've Man, listen, I've told my children this and I stand by this. I can't take the money with me. And I'm not gonna try to take it with me. And anything I got is theirs. It's just my motto, man. Because one thing I've learned is this right here. I can go broke tomorrow, but I'm a hustler. I know how to get up and get it again. So I just don't value money like that. And maybe that's why I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, get money the way I get money. Just not bragging, but I know how to get money. You know what I'm saying? And I've never valued money. I value my family more than I value money. My children, I want them to have things in life I never had. I do think you need to teach your children, you know what I'm saying? And they need to know the value of a dollar. They definitely need to know that, and they need to respect the dollar and know that things don't come easy. And definitely, like Alexander and all that stuff, I'm not a Balenciaga man. I don't like some of that stuff to me just look terrible. They put out stuff to me that don't look like it's worth anything anyway. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I just never like there's certain things I don't like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have a problem with people that buy for their kids. But I think you need to teach your kid what it means when they get it. Because a lot of kids don't respect it and don't understand what they really getting. Every kid can't afford this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to be able to do things for my kids and they're in a good position because to be at the end of the day, a lot of things I wanted that my father never bought me. I just keep it real with you. Whether it was a pair of sneakers or a Tonka truck or whatever it may be, I didn't receive that from my father. So sometimes I might go a little bit overboard for my kids and I don't have
Yeah,
a
for
problem with
sure,
it.
for
You know what
sure,
I'm saying?
for sure.
Because of that. That's the only reason, Price.
But I'm talking
Because
about
I wanted
like
things.
them, like those crazy extravagant proms. Like if we
Oh,
sticking with
no, I'm
BB
not
saying.
doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not
Now,
paying
yes, I have
$14,000 for
done
no
like my
prom.
mother used to tell me because my son is a real tall kid, and my mother used to tell me stop buying him $160 shoes. He wear them 3 times and he can't wear them no more. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was a problem for me. But I did go overboard. Like I do Disney trips with the kids. I do all that,
Yeah.
and I go
Yeah.
overboard. You know what I mean? I spend $5,000 doing that. But we're not gonna
Yeah.
just spend
As
like
you
when my
should.
daughter when it's time for my daughter's first prom. I'm not spending no 20 grand. I already know her mom ain't. Man, my daughter she gonna have a nice dress. She gonna have her hair
Yeah.
done. All that stuff gonna be the rental car, whatever. No problem. Matter of fact, we got a car. I don't even need to get a rental car. But like
Yeah.
CDK, when Logan do a prime, you ain't gonna need it. You got a dope whip. You know what I'm saying. So, but
Yeah.
them extravagant things, my daughter when that happens, that's not happening like that. Now she gonna
That's
look
cap.
nice.
That's cap.
Now
That's
I
But
cap.
but
promise
but,
you. I
but you know,
promise you.
but you know what's so crazy? It's crazy because so like my son now, I just bought him a pair of J's. I bought him some fours, right?
Of course.
And
Oh,
well,
you
Yeah.
getting regular
but
J's or Mexican Jordans?
nah,
Don't do
man,
that.
come on, man.
Don't
Fours.
do that.
Fours. He bought
I'm
fours.
Don't
Oh,
do
You
okay,
that.
can't buy
okay.
no Mexican. You can't buy no
BBLs.
Mexican fours.
Hold on,
You can't buy no
hold
Mexican
on.
fours.
But the thing is, this is
BBL
what's so
crazy.
funny to me. So, you know, I talk to his mom here and there. You know, whenever he got something going on, I'm gonna talk with her, whatever.
Yeah.
So she hit me up. She like, I'm gonna send you $160. I was like, for what? She was like, cause you know he want these shoes right here. I said, what kind of shoes he want? Well, he wants some Jordans. I was like, I just bought this. What are you talking? No. And at some point in time, I understand the man's smart enough to play us against each other, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, do not send me that money. I'm not. No, the man got plenty of shoes, plenty of them. And
The man got plenty of shit.
well, my thing at 10 years old, he ain't gonna wear them until December. And then get what? I'm gonna have to buy a whole nother set of shoes because he gonna be the not grown the one by December. So save your money, and in January when he wants some more J's or something like that, all right, you can do it then. But ain't no reason for the man to have 6 pair of J's, anything like that, at 10 when he only gonna wear them for 3 months. It don't make sense. Now
I feel you on that, Doug. I feel you. My son's 7. He got 160 pair. You know what I'm saying? And I buy him. I'm talking about my son literally got 160 pair of sneakers. I buy him I just buy him to buy him. You know what I'm saying? He enjoy them. I enjoy them. You know what I'm saying? But everybody got their way of method of doing things, and I respect it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just feel like when I go get something, it's just only right that I get him some. That's just my way of thinking. Like, you know, but he got to earn them too at the same time, because I will. If he doing something wrong that I don't like, he not getting what he wants. You know what I'm saying? I put my foot down. You know what I'm saying? In a moment, he might not get what he want. If you ain't doing right.
My foot ain't ever finna grow again. It ain't never growing again. I'm gonna wear 16 the rest of my life. And get what? I only got what, 5 pair of J's. I ain't buying them like that. So nah, I got dress. I'm a dress shoe type guy anyway. That's
I
just
dress
me.
shoe.
I love a good dress shoe. That's me. And it took me a while to find out how to actually get my dress shoes correct, because I'm flat-footed and all that other kind of stuff. But my thing is why are we like? It's so much other stuff no, it's so much other stuff that he can get, and it'll be much more in order. You know what I'm saying? Versus some shoes right now that he ain't gonna be able to wear in 3 months. It's a lot that you know what I'm saying. So just having to understand it, and I come from the family, man. We wasn't rich. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never grew up rich.
I wouldn't either.
I tell my son the reason he get shoes like he get them now, because I remember a time I had 2 pair of shoes. I had one I went to school in, and then I had my
one
place.
to hang around the house.
One I run outside. That's all
And you
I
better
had.
not have them school shoes on either when you get your mom. She better not catch you with them school shoes on.
Let me ask you. Hold on,
real quick. Get with my son. When I told him that, get what he said.
What?
Well, what shoes you went to like the store in and stuff like that? I said, see, you don't have a concept of the way that we grew up in the shoes that we had versus.
No, they don't.
You have no concept of it, and it's my fault. At the same time, like you said, we all want better for our kids than what we came up with. You know what I'm saying? So it's only natural to do that. But at the same time, I need you to have an understanding of what you have. And if you don't understand it, you're not going to value it. So if you don't value it, that means you'll be out there running around in some J's. No, you ain't running around outside playing with your friends in no damn J's. It ain't happening.
Yeah. And you know what I do, Dub? To be honest with you, I do this, man. I let my son know what I do to get my money. As far as me going out here, I got a food truck, I got houses, I got car wash, I got stuff going on. But I show him these things. You understand what I'm saying? And let him know that this stuff don't come easy. That I actually work for this stuff. Because I'm trying to instill that value in him and let him know that you can do a lot of stuff to get this money the right way. You don't have to be out here doing what you hear about people doing. I want him to understand that. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. If he grow out of them in 3 months, I get him another pair. If he grow out of them in 3 months, I get him another 10 pair. I ain't rich, I ain't poor. I just get back. You know what I'm saying? That's my motto. I get back.
And it's cool, but showing them the value is what's important. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely important.
Like you saying, instead of, man, I ain't out here and like you say, you a hustler, right? Yeah. I think we all hustle some type of way. Hustle may be a tad bit different, but we all hustle some type of way. As long as your hustle is legal and you doing it, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So with my son, I work from home the majority of the days, you know what I'm saying? The majority of the time, but still got to go in here and there. But at the same time, he come home working. I'm like, hey, nah, go on. Hey, how was school? This, that. All right, give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because you see what I'm doing. I'm working, and the reason so you can have these good things, these nice things. You can have them.
That's it.
But it's a method behind the madness. It ain't like this stuff come out of thin air.
So like, Yeah, you're right.
Hey,
I
but
agree
let
with
me
that.
but let me ask you this, B3. What do you think about this, man? You've been kind of quiet.
Yeah, what specifically, bro? There's been a lot going on.
Just this I think because we talked about a lot. One thing I ask you is this: what do you think about the materialism that we're seeing? Do you think it's good or bad?
I mean, I think well, this is what I say. I don't think you should put anything materialistic or any vices you have, anything above your relationship with God, or
That's right.
yourself, or and then secondly, over your family. As
Mm-hmm.
long as you're cognizant of what, or no, I got to say, saying cognizant. That's a big word. As long as you understanding of that you put God first, and then and then you take care of your family. Whatever you got, whatever you can afford to do, or whatever you can afford to buy, that's your business. That's
Yeah.
for
Damn,
your
hold
household.
on, damn, hold on, three. We smart enough to understand the word cognizant up here. We
Yeah,
understand
but see, but that's a big old word. I don't need to be saying it every 5 seconds,
Hold
Doug.
on, you being facetious, man. Stop doing that.
Hey, y'all
Nah.
about to make me pull out my dictionary. Stop.
Yeah, hey, free, pull it on out, man, because I can't think of no word free. I'm trying to think of something.
I mean, you can find a better
Y'all got hold on.
colloquialism than
Y'all got
that.
the unmitigated gall to think that we don't understand.
Because
I can think of
the
Mm,
thing that's so funny about three, man, he on't got the intestinal fortitude to stand up to a good
yeah.
conversation. That's all it is.
Only
But
thing you know
go
about
ahead.
BBO is he done read more books than Aristotle.
That's a
No,
So
beautiful thing. That's a
no,
yeah.
no.
beautiful thing.
My grandfather said it best. He said they used to kick my head in, nigga, to go live. But at least you can do is go in there and read.
Man, yeah. Sometimes your intellectual altitude, you know what I'm saying? Man, hey, people be saying, I be thinking about y'all sound like Stephen A on here. Stephen A can come up with all kind of words, man.
But
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 but I'm
Nah,
but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. The funny thing about when people hear when you can speak, so you can say certain words and speak a certain way. I would
Yeah,
say I pray for God to give me better common sense because I make some stupid mistakes. That's what
yeah,
I ask God for
mm,
every
but
day. More
but
common sense, man.
good.
But the thing
that
is,
part.
man, when you utilize words like that, and I remember there was a time my grandmother, she used to tell me, outside of Bible reading, outside of that, you need to be
Hmm.
reading
yeah,
the dictionary and the encyclopedia. That's what you
yeah,
need to
yeah.
be reading.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
So do.
Because one of the reasons, like, if you listen to people talk, they cuss so much these days, and
Hmm.
I'm guilty of it. But I was always taught people cuss because they can't find better words to use to get their point across.
I agree. I
Right.
agree with that.
I
And
got. Let me just. Can I say one other thing?
No, you had the
Doug,
mic. Go
real
ahead.
quick.
You had the
Let
mic. Go
me.
ahead. Ain't no one
we
thing.
cut
Go
you
ahead.
off.
Go
It.
ahead.
So, and you spoke about materialism, right?
Yes, sir.
And the thing about it is that a lot of the youth, they don't have good representation in the household,
Hmm.
Yeah.
or in schools. And we already know, unfortunately, a lot of the youth are not growing up in the church like a lot of us did.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So so what happens is that they're going to glorify materialistic things because that's the easiest thing to obtain, because
Mm-hmm.
it's harder to obtain. What is harder to do is walk with God on a consistent basis. It's harder to do is take care of your family on a regular basis. It's easy thing to get a car, because all you got to do is have a payment. You see what I'm saying? It's easy to get a chain, because all that's going to cost you is a couple $1,000s. So
Hmm.
people are taking the path of least resistance. They doing what's gratifying, or what they believe that what their friends value, or what they think the young ladies value. That's what they're focusing on. So it all comes down to not having a proper representation, a proper guidance, and a proper role model to set that example that these materials are things that we use, the things that we enjoy, but that's not who we are. That's not how we want to shape our life. We don't shape our life around materials. We shape our life around our character, and
And people.
100%. So that's all I wanted to say, man. It's just, like you saying, we got to be examples, and have us having these conversations help the youth.
Can I want to ask a question.
I'll
I
say.
want
Let me say before you go. Let me say this. I'm gonna let you get this in. I think the thing that's so crazy is we got to understand that the reaction to this young man was so visceral. It was like I never understand the need to go to that level, or to even
Yeah.
show that kind of emotion, because guess what? people are gonna say what you don't like all the time. And you know something. This is gonna sound y'all gonna probably say Uncle Tom or whatever, but I always heard this. Nothing is more important than me making sure I can take care of my folks. And I remember this funny, and I always bring this up, and people laugh when I say this. 50 Cent, this is when 50 Cent was hotter than fish grease. So 50 Cent walks up to Jay-Z and said, he ready for action. He probably like 2-3 months off the corner. Just got the chain on, probably still smelling like dope. He told Jay-Z, this is backstage, Jay-Z told this story, Sway told this story. And he told Jay-Z, let's get it on right now. Let's throw hands right now. And you know what Jay-Z looked at him and said? And they said Jay-Z didn't even turn his head. He just said, kind of like behind him, like, and mess up the money. You know the thing that's so crazy? It's not even the money he's talking about. He basically said, you ignorant goofy, I'm not about to mess up my opportunity to be throwing hands with you. Even if I can beat you, I lose. And that's the thing, we got to be honest, man. We lose if we can't have conversations. If we want to talk over people's heads, we lose. If we want to act like people are stupid, we lose. If we act like we know everything, we lose. Because at the end of the day, like on that Drake album, we in this thing, bro. Whether we in this together, that's everybody's decision. But no matter what, we in this thing. But go ahead, Duck.
I want to ask, and Price, he brought up the Montclair jacket earlier. Yes. And I want to ask,
is that a real Montclair jacket he talking about, or he talking about the one he got from the swap meet?
Well, what's the difference? What's the difference?
Hold on. The one he got from the swap meet was $60.
Hold on, but exactly. The only difference is the amount you paid for it. It's still made out of the same material. It's still, and this is the whole.
I just bought the coat because I like the design of it.
I'm not saying that. But that wasn't my question. BVO, he BVO so far out of order right now. It don't even make sense. But, what I'm really asking is what's the actual, because when we talk about the Balenciagas and the Versace and all the name brand stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference in quality, right? Because it's a shirt, it's a jacket, right? The real reason people wear jackets is for what?
So we won't be cold.
So you don't be cold. To keep warm. And so what makes something cost $1,000 versus it costing $70?
Just the name.
The name, and that's the craziest part about it. Just think about that. That's the
you're right,
thing.
Doug.
Hold on, real quick. The craziest thing is somebody said, you know what? If I put my name on this and then represent it as high quality, now all of a sudden it ain't worth $70 no more. It's worth $1,000. But it's the same material. If you go look at they all got they got to tell you what's in the jacket and all that kind of stuff, what the materials are and all that. If you go look at it, it's 60% polyester, 30% cotton, and then you got whatever else in there.
Right.
And guess what?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a jacket that got them same ingredients in them that ain't got nobody name on it. That costs a tenth of what we paying for some of this stuff. It makes no sense. It's absolutely ridiculous. But this shows how much we've been brainwashed. As far as going back to the point of materialism, it shows how much we've been brainwashed that, this is what looks good. Because the name is there, because you got a polo. I don't even know if people. I still wear polos, me personally, but
I love polo. I love polo.
Right.
So, but just because
I love polo.
But just think about it. It's a solid color shirt with a horse on it, a small horse at that.
I rock the one with the big horse.
That small horse.
I don't think
the big horse. Even the big horse.
Hey,
now all of a sudden, because that horse there, it costs
$79.99.
It's ridiculous.
Right now, Dub.
Yeah, it is.
Shoot. That big horse about 200 for certain shirts.
Hold on. Go ahead, Double Free. And then you go.
The sweatsuit I got on right now, I had a dude ask me the other day, "Hey, dog, where you get that sweatsuit from?" I told him my wife got it online. He's like, "Oh, she got it from such and such." I'm like, "Nah, she got this one from Amazon. This is a $30 sweatsuit, but the way I wear it, you would think that it costs more than $30.
That's another thing, Free. I wear the clothes. I don't let the clothes wear me. Just because my jacket says Montclair, I'm wearing the jacket.
That's cap. That's cap. You be
I
dressed
can
like
put on anything.
you be dressed
BVO
like
a
a
hater
I
rap
don't
because
have
he
a
don't
star.
got
problem with
no.
none of it.
BVO a hater
I
because he don't
think
got
you
no
choose.
swag. You know, I be having
Hold
to
on,
tell
hold on,
him
hold
how
on,
to
hold on, hold
dress.
on, hold on, hold on. I got Ralph Lauren everything. I got horses all in my house.
Now, horses.
Yeah, in my from the
Uh,
pants, polo,
yeah,
drawers, polo, t-shirt, polo,
I got
But
socks,
boxer
well, get
polo.
polo.
what?
My
Get
Brisa
what? Get
polo.
what? Get what? My boxer briefs, all Fruit of the Loom.
Yo,
Ain't nobody looking at
I
my
can tell
drawers. Ain't
I
nobody
can
looking
tell
at
you
my
right
drawers.
now. The
The
Them
only
only
polo
thing,
briefs fit nice though,
hold on,
Dub.
hold on real quick. I'm just saying, I'm the
no
least swag
Yeah,
person
yeah.
up here. I got the least swag, and I'm
no
proud of it.
Now
I
you
got
got
no.
you
I'm
country
got
gonna
plenty
tell
of
you.
swag.
I
No,
got
I'm
I
gonna
got
tell
I
you like
got
this.
country swag. I got the country
I
shit.
have
And so
when it comes to
all
my
I
that
got
all
clothes.
country swag.
yeah. Hey, but
When,
we understand. But all I'm saying is
Hold on, y'all
just
got
cause
country swag because y'all got a 10-gallon hat. That don't count. Y'all
No,
got
no,
man,
y'all
because
got
no.
we
y'all
lived
got
Listen.
we lived in the country.
man,
We got country
Listen.
swag.
I'm gonna tell you like this. When it comes to my clothes,
I still got two sets of overalls.
Damn.
Okay.
the only name brand I got when it comes to my clothes is my shoes. All my clothes ain't none of it name brand. My shoes is the only thing that's name brand. I got
But let me
regular
ask y'all a question.
plain jeans and plain shirts. My
Let me
shoes
ask
is the
y'all a
only thing
question,
that's name brand.
Free.
You wear
Does
Kate
it
Sports
matter
or you wear
though to
Nike?
y'all? It doesn't matter to me what nobody else wears or what you buy. I have a motto. If you can afford it and you want it and you feel like it's what you need, you get it. I've never been the type to worry about what nobody else wear. And I think for each his own. And there ain't nothing, because I'll put on a pair of t-shirt and blue jeans in a minute. A t-shirt, blue jeans, some Levi. I
CDK,
love Levi.
stop this, CDK. Man,
Bro,
I done bought
I will
Levi.
put on Levi. I wear
I,
Levi's every day.
you wearing 501 Levi jeans? They're 115. Every
Yeah,
Jordan or
yeah.
Nike shirt
That's
you
cheap.
wear is like they like 115, 170. Man, come on, bro.
And
You not.
I put on a look. I put on a cheap gold chain. I put on a pair of, cheap watch. And I go out the door, man. You know what I'm saying? I go out the door. I don't
With
care
the
about I don't
$400
care.
shoes on. Come on, man. Y'all dudes is crazy with this, man.
So
Hold on.
what?
But
Man,
this the truth. This is a true story. One of my favorite shirts to wear is a white tee from Walmart. You know
that's it.
why?
That's it.
Because it fit comfortably. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I'm not here to impress nobody. You ain't got
That's
to be
it.
impressed. If I'm worried about impressing the next man, then hey, something wrong.
Something
If
wrong.
I'm dealing with a female who worried about man, you're not the one for me anyways.
Man, for
So
real.
so all that other stuff is just like, bro, man, and this is the people that are making money off of us simply because of the stereotype that's put. Oh, you broke, but you don't know what I got. Some of the
You
rich,
know,
some of one
What they call
a
us,
true
brokey.
story. This is a true
I'm
story.
broke.
Everything I used to play golf with a guy named Brian. Well, we call him B-More, but it was Brian. I can't remember something, but B-More, excuse me. But at the same time, man, he had retired. He used to be an engineer. You know, when we would go to different courses and things. So one day I might drive, Ant might drive, B might drive. When get what he picked us up in
What's that?
a 95. It was a van. It was the big body van. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Astro
talking about
van?
the sliding door and all of that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and get what he said. Get what he bragged about. Man, my van got 350,000 miles on it, and it's still in good shape. We riding, baby. Let's
That-
ride.
We
that's right.
ride,
That's
baby.
right. That's right.
Let's ride. You know what
Man,
I'm saying?
like I said, everybody think different, man. I'm at the point I don't really care. I got whatever I need, I got it in life, and God has blessed me with it. That's how you gotta look at it. God bless you with it, you got it, and whatever you spend your dollars on, you know what I'm saying? Spend your dollars on. I got I got some jewelry that I wore for the first time, man, probably in maybe 5 years. You know what I'm saying? It didn't lose no value on it because I took it and thought about getting rid of it just because I thought they were gonna take it for another divorce. I'm trying to get rid of everything before I give it away. You ain't getting
Right.
nothing. You know
That's
what I'm saying? 21,000. Y'all seen? I don't know if y'all seen that picture. I said y'all on niggas like that nigga actually cost $21,000. I was gonna pawn it and get rid of it before I let her get her hands on it because she greedy and she want every dollar I got.
but but what's even crazier? So even like diamonds, they're so high priced, but they're not even the rarest jewel. They're one of the
Nope.
most common jewels. You know what I'm saying? But because they're able to make more money off of it, it's priced higher than other pieces of jewelry, even though the
Jolie.
other pieces are much more rare and valuable than the actual diamond is. But nobody, they don't think that this ain't how people think. They it's that it's the sheep mindset. Because
Yeah,
everybody
yeah, yeah.
moving this way, we all gonna move this.
Let me ask you something, B3,
No,
because
the Bible tell
oh,
you the Bible tell you the road less the road less traveled is the way you need to be going.
Yeah.
there's so
Right?
many words it does say that. Let me ask you this, B3. One of the things that me and B3 always talk about, man, is the Bible, right? And one of the things I think we miss all the time is that sometimes I'm starting to believe, man, we are purposely valuing the wrong things. And you say, why I say that?
Yeah.
We seeing less families, we seeing less people actually taking time to work through their issues. Just like we had the whole thing. What are you guys thinking? And I'm starting off with B3. B3, we seeing either these guys want to be these super thugs who are super feminine with the tight jeans on and the locks, or we seeing these dudes that are just like men, little men, women. What do you think we see in such an extreme where we seeing our young boys either be overly tough and feminine or just overly feminine? What do you think about? What you think about when we see that?
The
Big three.
what goes into my mind is this, man, is that what's raising the youth? Who's raising the
Mm-hmm.
youth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times there's not a lot of male solid male figures in these guys' lives. And who's raising them? They're being raised by the rappers. They're being raised by the movies that they watch, the negativity that they see, and what the world calls them. You know, the world calls them a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they think about themselves. That's how they address themselves. That's how they
Yep.
address each other. So that's what it comes down to, man. It's a lack of positive guidance for these youth. So what they'll do is the least common denominator, or it's really what they see is learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? If you grow up around all women and they don't correct you, they may lead you down a path of destruction. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times it shows that they don't really love their children, man. I'm gonna be real with you, because if you see wrong behavior, if you see behavior that your father didn't grow up you or your granddaddy, and you allow that to happen to your son, listen, man. I'm be honest. I don't. A lot of people shouldn't have kids, man, because they're not instilling the values and morals that they saw in their parents. And if they didn't have that representation, and if they're ignorant to it and don't understand, then I pray for them. You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't have anybody to give them that representation of what they needed to do for their children. But I just feel like it's just unfortunate that these young guys are being raised on social media, and they being raised by their homeboys. Come on, man. This is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Me
I
and
gotta
three had
agree.
it, me and three had a similar conversation the other day. Um, I ain't gonna get into the specifics of the conversation, but at the same time, if you're not ready for kids, then make sure you know what I'm saying. Like, if you ain't gonna be there to raise your child, why are you having children? And we done seen this so much. Even I talked to my dad the other day. My aunt, we having a family reunion, right? My aunt, she done went on ancestry.com and found 661 folks to invite to the family reunion. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I have no clue. But
Mm.
my whole thing, I'm like, we just found out we got a new brother. Or I got a new uncle, they got a new brother. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, granddad, what the hell you were doing? I know you had two or three families, and now we finding more kids that you got. If
Hmm.
you're not gonna be there, then what's the point? Just make sure you're being safe out here. You know what I'm saying? And having children is the big. I only got one. The biggest blessing of my life. Man, saved my life. To be quite honest with you, I was probably on the wrong path at the time, and having him, it helped straighten me up. But at this, my thing, it straightened me up because I was like, I ain't finna have what as BBO would call it. Well, it ain't BBO. We would all consider. I ain't finna have no YNs out here. We ain't gonna have these. No, I ain't finna have. I'm not finna create nobody that's creating terror in the streets. You gonna be in order if you around here. You gonna be all the way in order. And if you ain't gonna be in order, we gonna deal with you accordingly. It come down to parenting once again. All this stuff that we talking about, it come down to parenting and being there for your children and instilling right versus wrong. Because once again, biblically speaking, in the last days, what's good is bad and what's bad is good. And that's what we're seeing. It's exactly what we're seeing with these people. And it's such a sad sight to be a part of.
Oh, my fault. Hold on.
No, you good.
Okay.
I
I
just
was
want
gonna
to
say
say this.
good. You right there.
Go ahead, CD. Get my bad.
Okay, I only wanted to say that to tell Doug this right here, because he talking about parenting, and I'll say this, there's gonna come a point, and I know Free know this because Free has adult children like I do, that there's gonna come a point that your kids are gonna make mistakes. But the thing about good parenting is this: they can, if you teach them, they'll be able to learn and recover from those mistakes. Because there's only so much you can do. You can be a great parent and your kids can still get off track and make mistakes. But because you're doing the right thing, as Dub's saying, you know what I'm saying, and teaching them, they know how to get back on track. They know how to find their road again. So that's the main thing about being a good parent. Don't ever think, you know what I'm saying, because some parents get that. Huh? What you say now?
My bad, CD. That was my phone.
Okay. Yeah, just so I don't want nobody ever think, because I've talked to some parents and I've heard parents say stuff like, their kids, you know what I'm saying, they're not happy with the things their kids doing or whatever, but I know they're good parents. And I've talked to somebody and told them recently, like, you've done all you can do. You just gotta pray and hope, you know what I'm saying, that they listen to the things you had to say and they're gonna get back on track. Because that's usually what's gonna happen if you are doing what
Man,
you should be doing. That's all I want to say.
my favorite cousin, once again, talking to BVO earlier, my favorite cousin. Me and him, we grew up like brothers, literally. Our birthday is 19 days apart. He on the 11th, I'm on the 30th, you know what I'm saying, of June. And so we grew up like brothers, you know what I'm saying? I ain't have my brother and sister. They stayed miles away, a couple hundred miles away from me. So that's my brother. Man, great parents, you know what I'm saying? His uncle, or I say his uncle, his dad, my uncle, man, right in it, man, my dad wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? So when you looking for strong male leadership, Uncle Boo was one of them for me, you know what I'm saying? And right now, he just went back to jail. The other two now, my Nisha, Jody, they good. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing, whatever they grown now. And well, Nisha, she the oldest, is Buddy, then Jody. We picked on Jody anyway, that's a whole nother story. But my thing is, I can't blame Uncle Boo. I can't blame him. I can't blame my aunt for it because,
Right.
they did. I grew up with them. And the way, even when I was there, they kept me in order. So the order was set. It just, there going to be times that, hey, you got to let people be who they're going to be. And you can't always control that piece of it. But every time I'm around
Right.
him, I can, when we had a conversation, man, you see the brilliance in him. You see the smartness. You see he understands he understands. He just gonna do what he gonna do. And he told me one time, he said, man, because I was like, bro, come on now, man. You getting out of, come on, bro. Like, that ain't how we was raised. He was like, I gotta get it. All right, if that's how you gonna get it, that's how you gonna get it. But at the same time, you understand what you're doing and the mistakes you're making, and wherever they land for you to be at, that's where you end up at. And so he
I agree.
knows he has an understanding, and as Big Mo would always say, he know better. He know better. But at the same time, he's gonna do what he's gonna do regardless. So I can't blame them for it. And at some point in time, when we're talking about parenting, I think there is a lack of parenting now. But even then, when you had great parents, you know children who some of them end up being scholars. I use my Aunt Claire prime example. She had what 13 kids, something like that. The majority of them good. Yeah, about two of them out of order. They're still out of order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Hey, ain't no way you done raised all these folks. You got somebody who the second in the Pentagon as far as civil individuals go, you know what I'm saying, not military. Second in the Pentagon. That's a child that you raised. You know what I mean? But then you got another one who, man, can't keep, and I say it respectfully, my uncle, he can't keep his life together to save his life.
Yeah.
Literally. But it don't go, that ain't on her because they were all instilled with the same values. It just who accepted them and embodied them versus sometimes you just got that rogue one out there. I mean, that's how the world works. But you can't blame the parent for that. But even in that situation, I know you got what's the right thing instilled in you. So when you turn and you make the decision to do right, then you're gonna be able to find your path just as easy because you already have it in you. It was instilled in you as a child.
I'll say this, man. One thing a lot of us do, we mistake movement for progress. And when I say movement, you'll be just doing things, almost what you call busy work. And it's kind of funny because when you get in management, you hear so much stuff about this and that. And I'll be honest, some of that stuff be really, really good because it gives you a better perspective on what you're actually doing and what is nothing more than just wishful thinking. Like, prime example, it's certain things I say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then I don't do it or I don't, make it happen. And then I'll come back and say, well, it's okay, you meant to do it. Excuse me. And I think the problem is we just got too many people that think they doing something that they not. And the problem is we got so much movement, but no real, we got so much motion, but no real movement in life. And that's just a sad thing. You see that across the board. The whole thing with Charlie Kirk is sad. I mean, just think about it. Somebody told Dub Right Side, we got the bastard. And it's like, how sick are you to say that? Because that's somebody's father. That's somebody's child. And I'm telling you, man, the lack of care for real people is sickening because even with these boxes, and this is something y'all seen BBO kind of make a change in this. We got to kind of approach this stuff different because these are real people we're talking about. Somebody had told me something funny. I found out what Shakur Stevens' father's last name was, and somebody was like, "Well, you should call him his father's last name instead of Sanchez. Call him his father's last name." I said, "You know what? That's too far. I'm not gonna do that." And you know what's funny? We gotta have it to where we know what's too far, and we gotta respect boundaries. And I'm telling you, when we don't respect boundaries, we get the stuff like we're seeing today. It's sad, and I gotta say this: you can say what you want, but it's gonna come with consequences, like Three said. I remember there's a rapper. I know a lot of people familiar with this young kid. This kid's who my brother Pittsburgh. This kid named Young Dolph from Memphis. He proclaimed himself the king of Memphis. He kept taunting dudes that was doing stuff at him. They kept blowing at him. He kept taunting them. Oh, you missed 100 shots. Ah, blah, blah, blah. Y'all can't get me. Laughing, joking. And guess what? At some point, they finally got him. He's inside a cookie shop getting some cookies for his grandmother. They lit him up like a Christmas tree. And he has security. It's because when you make a decision to do certain things, there is a demonic element to that. So we got to be careful what we subscribe to, what we put in our ears, what we say. As a man, think of one of my favorite books by James Allen. We got to be careful what we put in our mind, what we think, because what we think is what we manifest. You guys won't believe this. The whole reason you see BBO boxing is because I wanted to honor my uncle Brent Wade. Do you guys know who Brent Wade is? No. But guess what? His memory lives on because my uncle had a passion for boxing. I said, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel about it. I'm gonna do something I never seen nobody around me. I'm gonna do a YouTube channel and get it lit. And through the grace of God, I've been able to do that. And it's just about what you set in your mind, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. You're gonna get what you put in that mind. If your mind is I'm gonna hurt people, do people wrong, you're gonna do just that. But I'm telling you, man, only what you do for Christ will last. And we gotta start having that mind. And excuse me for being religious on this. He said, "Let this mind of Christ Jesus be in you." That's not on accident. That's because we gotta think about what we say. We gotta think about what we do. And when you taunt people or you act like you can't be touched, you get lit up at the cookie store. If you guys ever see that video of Young Dolph, the rapper from Memphis, the way he got lit up in that cookie store, it was shameful, Dub.
I watched it. I
B3,
watched the trial.
B3, he looked like Swiss cheese when they got done with him. You know why? Because he couldn't shut up. Guess what? Guess what I would have did, and people would have called me soft. If I had an issue with those guys, and they pretty showed you that they'll put hits on that body, I would have go apologize. BBO ain't never too big to apologize. If I'm
Never.
wrong, I will come up to you and say, you know what? I'm wrong. Forgive me. And one thing I don't do, I don't slap niggas' hands. When somebody put their hand out as a man and say they want something and they're genuine, guess what? I'm gonna put my hand right out to them. That's what men do. We lost that, and there's an art to that. Shoot my man Pittsburgh. But go ahead, B3. What you got for me, dog?
I mean, you said a lot, man. I mean, we had a we I mean we covered a lot of bases tonight. I just feel like the what people gotta understand is that, man, y'all gotta be have some discipline in life. But one thing is that prioritize the young people that you involve or surrounded by, whether they be your kids, your little brothers, little sisters, nieces, nephews, whoever they are. Try to point them in the right direction, man, because time and time again the examples that they're going to see on television and in the media is that we're in the end of times. So it's going to be destruction, it's going to be chaos. And if they live their life that way, if they don't have anybody telling them right from wrong, they're going to fall into that same trap. So you have to be very conscientious. Another big word for the night. You got to be very conscientious of what you're allowing the youth to put into that eye gate, put into that ear gate, the food that they eat, even. But people, everybody has to have a level of understanding that this stuff is going to affect the youth. Everything that you have, all your life experiences affect you. So do seeing that man get unalive, that's going to affect the youth.
Yeah.
So listen, it's very important. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was growing up, I couldn't see sex scenes on TV. I got my eyes covered. I had to close my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's how I grew up. Well, how these kids are growing up, I'm on TikTok. These kids are so far removed from God or proper examples that they'll literally, for one, we got trolls on YouTube, the young people, whoever, they'll flash Johnson to grown men. Uh, I have kids on TikTok who they'll have perverted comments saying what they doing towards a grown man. Man, listen, the internet is a nasty place, and these kids, man, they're allowed to move around without any type of, for one, any type of structure, any type of guidance, but no consequences. Now they only it's no immediate consequence because can't nobody put hands on them, but they don't understand that the life experience or what they're doing, that is shaping their future. So so what they're doing now, so you think you over here at 8 years old, 9 years old, you think you cool because you know how to turn to HBO and watch porn. But what happens when you're 24, 25 and you can't use your Peter? Because nobody told you that you need to abstain from these things and focus and turn your life to Christ, or at least uh have a relationship with God, so you know that it's you need to be communicating with women and or people of the opposite sex, so you build right relationships. Man, I we could talk about this all day, BBO. But we just gotta have we just we gotta start provide showing love, man. We gotta start spreading love to these young people because it's I'm gonna be honest with you. Their parents, if you allow your children to go out here and show ass, you allow your kids to go out here and not strive to have great grades and be a straight A student, and you allowing them to hang out in the hood, or you allowing them to carry weapons and stuff like that, you're a part of the problem. I don't care what environment you live in. If you understand that you're in a bad environment, your mentality should be, let me get my child out of this environment so I can make sure they have a better life and a better upbringing. So
Hey, three,
man, these people don't love, man. It's no love.
three, real quick, just going off of that point. It's interesting you say it because I love like when I was in my early 20s. You know what I'm saying? I love Atlanta. When my son was born, get what I said? I got to get this nigga out of Atlanta.
Yep.
I do not want him growing up around it. You know what I'm saying?
hundred
And
percent.
not. I mean, I mean, it is what it is. But I agree 100%, man. Your game plan is always for your children to do better than you. And if you're successful, then you should be investing all your success into your children to make sure that they be even more successful. Instead of, like you said, if I allow him to grow up in the hood, and then next thing you know, he do this, that, whatever, whatever. Well, it's on me because that's the environment that he was around. But when I take you out that environment and I try to put you, hey, in my opinion, the country, this is just my opinion, one of the best environments you can grow up in. I know everybody in the neighborhood. I can talk to all his friends, his friends' parents in the city. Get what? I don't know none of these folks. I don't know none of them. And so it just the difference in environment, those type of things, and it's still, hey, it's crime everywhere. But I know for a fact that being here, he can go outside and play. Got a yard. His friends earlier today, they on the trampoline in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? I get a chance to talk to them guys. Some of them crazy now. I always say they be crazy, but at the same time, you can tell uh, uh, um, respectful young men. That's they were. Yes, sir. No, sir. Before my son ever leave the house, get what I tell him. I don't care where you're going. When you're talking to an adult, once I hear you say yeah, no, and it, man, I, all right, we'll handle it accordingly. But at the same time, you're not gonna do it, and the reason you're not gonna do it because you weren't raised that way. My my doctor told my mama one time. He said because she was like, he better at school than he at home, and the doctor said, well, he's supposed to be. When he at home, you know what I'm saying? He gonna act out here and there, but that's him being him. Is what he goes and shows to the world. I grew up in a time where they tell you, all right, when you go out here, you represent me. You're a representation of me. So when you bring a 85 home in social study, get what I'm asking? What you got an 85 for? I gotta at least be a 90, at least. And folks be like, oh man, you too hard on them. Nah. If I ain't tough on you, how the world gonna treat you?
They're gonna be hard on you, man.
They're gonna be harder. So I'm gonna show you when you get out in the world, you're gonna understand how to deal accordingly. But that's our job as parents. That's our job. The biggest job you got is raising kids. That's the biggest job you could ever have.
You know the funny thing, the greatest thing you can ever be is yourself. I think a lot of kids don't understand that. I wish I would have understood that back when I was younger. I wouldn't have got myself in so much trouble. And it's
Let
just
me jump
sad.
in,
This.
Bill.
Go ahead.
Uh, and not to cut you off, but I gotta say this, man. Man, when unfortunately, without a lot of when males are not in the household, a positive male role model, the biggest trick, or the biggest downfall, I believe, is that when you tell a young boy that he's the man of the house and he doesn't have the capabilities to conduct himself as a man, he doesn't move like a man, he wasn't raised like a man. He doesn't have that role model, that representation to kind of be a man. So I see that happening. Y'all have heard it before. Y'all have heard that saying, "Oh, you the man in the house now." Man, that is a trick. That is of the enemy. No boy needs to be the head of no household. If you got, if you know, if you had a job at 15 years old, uh that's supposed to be
Your money.
yeah, your money. But not only that, it's a growth process. You're supposed to, you that's just like your initial start to being in the world outside of, just the school system. And that is the, unfortunately, a lot of young guys, they get caught up in that. So what they'll do is, I gotta provide for my little brothers and little sisters. I gotta do this for my mom, and I gotta, and the paths that they are exposed to is the path of uh selling drugs, carrying weapons, and moving around in a way that they're looking to hunt people, or damage their own uh community, in order to be this man that they ain't supposed to be yet. So I just want to say that, man, I think that's nasty work. Let your children, I don't care what age they is, just because the father, or whatever the case may be, y'all didn't work out. Let these boys and let these young girls develop the right way, and not try to put so much pressure on them to be adults, because that's what all these kids are walking around. I mean, imagine. Listen, man, I'm be honest with you. A lot of way these kids talk, they wouldn't make it to next week in person, the way they talk on the internet.
No.
So and we be showing these kids a lot of grace a lot of times, and we be on the internet, but they don't really, they talk like that because somebody told them that they was somebody that they ain't, or somebody that they're not. That's all that is. They, some people, whoever's in their circle, whoever is in their family or support system, whatever, allow them to believe they're somebody that they're not. So when they come out here, you have young people cursing out grown men. Oh, you have young people that think, or younger people that they can think that they could talk to adults in a hostile form. Man, listen, I would slap the piss out of one of these guys so fast. Uh and I wouldn't think twice about it. But by the grace of God, we on the internet. Because a lot of us would be in trouble. But let me bring it home with this, man. Value your youth, value your children, value the young people. Let them develop properly, and and give them guidance, and don't try to force their hand to do something that God didn't intend, and the world don't intend. The world will eat a young person up if they don't have the wherewithal, and the right knowledge, and the education to conduct themselves. If they don't have those things, if they haven't been equipped, they're gonna end up unalive, or they're gonna end up behind bars.
And as they say, Dub, ain't nobody playing with you.
Hey, y'all need to start whooping these kids. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
Hey, y'all, you can tell me, oh, you don't want to hurt. No, no, no. Spatter rod, you spoiled a child. All I'm trying to tell you, hey, I remember a time if I'm at the grocery store with Big Mom and my grandma, and I'm out of order. Oh, Big Mom putting hands on me right there. And get what? Wasn't nobody gonna say nothing about it. They wasn't gonna say nothing. That's why I knew. Hey, let me just sit here. And my grandma, one of the greatest people I know. Um, she used to, a lady asked at the grocery store one time, how you talk to him so much? How you answer so many questions? All he do is ask questions. And she was like, "Well, that's my job. I gotta have patience with him. He young. He's supposed to ask me questions." And man, hey, just be there for him. You know what I'm saying? I, I,
I'm
go ahead.
no, I just want to say this one thing because he's speaking good, Dub. But there was a song by this guy that was called "Fade the Pictures," and he said, "Mama, don't worry. I've been wanting to give you what you needed since I was a toddler." And it's like, why the toddler worried about what Mama needs? Ain't that something?
Right. That part. Come on, man.
I
Go
can't
ahead, Doug.
answer.
My bad.
It's the empathy. It's the empathy of a child. They always want to see, a child feel exactly what you feel a lot of times. They see what you feel, and it leaves an imprint on them, if that makes sense. So, yeah. But at the same time, man, it ain't. I always say,
That's a
you know what I'm
fact,
saying.
though.
But I don't ever want to see, and not no man, nothing crazy. I don't want my son to see me cry. The reason being, not to say that crying ain't okay. Everybody gonna cry. Everybody is. Y'all gonna sweat, as BVO would say. Shout out to my brother. But at the same time, I don't want you dealing with anything I'm dealing with. That ain't your place. Your place is to enjoy your childhood, to be a child, to learn, to grow, develop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to put anything I got going on you. So, regardless of the situation, I'm gonna try my best to shield you from that situation at that time until it's time until you got to the point where you can understand what's going on at an older age. And 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, that age come around somewhere between 15 to 17. Before that, I don't want you to take on anything I got going on. That's on me to handle. That's not on you. And you should never try to handle a situation for a grown person. You're not grown. I should be trying to handle situations for you. My mama used to always tell me, just tell me the truth and we'll figure it out. But if you're not telling me the truth, then I can't help you because the information I got is gonna be incorrect, and then I'm gonna be on the wrong side of this thing. So tell me the truth. My son lied to me the other day, right? That nigga, he told me, he said, he want to go outside and play with his friends. He said, Daddy, can I go outside? I said, have you finished your homework? He said, yeah, I finished it. I said, bring it to me. 9 times out of 10, I take it at face value 9 times out of 10. I said, bring it to me. He said, I lied. I ain't finished it. All right, come on, go on. Hey, go on and bring your PlayStation in here. Go on and bring your phone in here. You know what it is. I could have put hands on you now. I could have. But you out of order, man. What you gonna lie about something that simple? If you tell small lies, then those small lies turn into big lies. And I always tell you, I always say, I think Claymore Rain said it the best. You know what I'm saying? If my son look me in my eye and tell me this, then I'm gonna believe him. Well, now I can't believe. So when that stranger, whoever it is, when it's you versus them, I can't take your side because you lie about the small stuff. Now we got to get that out of here. We got to get that out of here. And I say all that to say, man, being present in your children's lives, man, it means so much. Just that, and I close with that one because not my eyes starting to sweat, BBL.
Hey man, it's just at the end of the day, you want to give somebody something you never had. What I always hated was to hear, "Oh, that's my mom," or "That's my dad." You know what I mean? I used to hate to hear that because everybody had different moms and dads. I said, man, I want to have one family. I don't want to be all over the place. And God has blessed me to do that. I'm telling you, man, that stuff we all seen, man. We all want the right things, man. And what happened to that brother Kirk is sad, man.
One of the
And it's,
reasons
go ahead.
I rock with this show, I rock with y'all, because I think morally speaking, we all kind of see things very similar. You know what I'm saying? We disagree, but morally speaking, I think we all kind of on the same page. And I don't know if it's I would say upbringing to some degree, but I don't know what it is. But that's one of the reasons I love y'all brothers so much. Whether it's Prize, whether it's uh, 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 um, Three, Free, BVO, CDK, you know what I'm saying? Crush.
Mm-hmm.
I love y'all brothers so much because I think we express it differently now. We express it differently, but it's very good to be around like minded individuals, and I think that's one of the things. Hey, I always say, oh man, I'm gonna do my YouTube by myself. Man, this one of the times. Hey, I'm proud to be a part of a team, especially a team of guys like y'all.
Hey, same here, brother. Because at the end of the day, man, I'm telling you, I would listen to that Drake song. I'll never forget that, man. I'm jamming. And then Drake had a message in there. We in this thing, man. Whether we in it together, I don't know, but we in this thing. So it's just, it just really, man, it's the simple things that matter. I
Hey,
think sometimes we get caught up in the extra stuff. It's the simple stuff, man. Go
real
ahead.
quick, read this brother Frank Laura. Read that man. This brother he just dropped a great one on us right here.
I missed it. Where?
He said, damn, this is a good live. Boxing is cool, but this grown man talk is fire. Exactly.
Yeah.
Salute to the
Exactly.
We
good brother Frank, man.
salute, Frankie. We can't. You know, I'm gonna be honest. We could have. This video probably gonna get 80 to 90 views, right? We could have easily talked about Bud or how Canelo's gonna beat him or whatever. Guess what, man? We got an issue with young men and women, and we gotta try to do our best. Because guess what? I'm not perfect, and I can say that I'm a flawed man, but I'm trying not to hide behind that. You know what? You know, I used to do sometimes. B3 and Dub. I would say I'm a wretched man, like Paul said, but never ever try to address why I'm a wretched man. For the first time in my life, I'm understanding I gotta hold myself accountable. It's nobody's fault. My grandma's gone, and it's up to me to show what kind of legacy she really left. I can't keep crying about her being gone. I can't cry about my uncles being gone. I gotta just do what I know what to do, treat my family right. And like I said, I'm going through something right now in my personal life. And guess what? I believe I'm gonna be the victor of this thing. Because guess what, WB3? I took responsibility and I know what I need to do. And I'm gonna do it. And Paul
Man,
said it best: follow me as I follow Christ.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, and I taking that even when you say I took responsibility for it, it's one thing to say it, but to actually live it and to do it is something totally different. And man, I got so much respect for that. So much respect for it. If these YNs out here was taking responsibility, accountability, then they wouldn't be YNs nearly the way we look at them. They wouldn't be that. But they ain't got nobody to tell them, man, you gotta stand on your square, bro. Stand on your square. Be a man. I, I start telling stories, and next thing you know, we gonna be 6 hours into the live. But
But guess what, Doug? If you don't listen now, guess what? They got a place called prison. And we hearing the disgusting stories coming out of prison. They wait on y'all wounds. Y'all seen Police the Booty, man. That's not a joke. That's real. That dude wants you behind. That dude had a 3-year charge turned it into to 50, I mean to 30, 35, because he wanted booty that bad. Y'all think this stuff is a game, man.
but
And
see that I told you this earlier, BVO.
mhm.
Hey, if you gonna be out of order, lock their ass up. If you ain't gonna listen to nobody, if you ain't gonna respect authority, if you're not gonna grow and be the man that you're supposed to be, man, lock their ass up then. It is what it is, because you a danger to society. Anybody that's a danger to society, hey, we don't need you in society. It is what it is. It may sound mean. I don't know what it sounds like here. I think it's the truth. You told, hey, you permission to tell the story to disclose on the conversation me and you
Oh,
had.
go ahead, man.
My brother said, he said, man, I talked to a judge one time. Her daddy had locked my granddaddy up. He locked my dad up, and she was ready to put me under the damn jail. And when I say if I'm lying, I said, hell, well, if you were dangerous to society, they should have put your ass under. Did I not say that?
You said that.
I
You
mean,
definitely said that.
it is what it is. But there are some people you're not gonna be able to fix. It is what it is. At the same time, I think if most people, even just listen to the conversation we having. You know what I'm saying? Just being a part of that type of conversation. Mentally, more than anything. And that's the only way you're gonna get out your situation is if you grow mentally and understand, all right, I gotta lock in at this point right here, or at this point. I gotta lock in so I don't fall back into the same situations that what they call them, generational curses. I don't know nothing about the generational curses like that, really, me personally. But at the same time, I do think if I don't learn from an individual, then I'm bound to repeat their mistakes. And ain't no way I want to repeat individual mistakes who done been to jail. Ain't no way I want to repeat them mistakes. Because that's the last place I want to be. I value freedom. I value being able to go where I want to when I want to go. I value that.
Hey, get in trouble ain't cool, man. It's easy to get in trouble. It's hard to get out.
Hey, I don't want to be. I don't want somebody waking me up at a certain time, telling me I got to eat at a certain time. Nah. I want to be able to choose all them time frames for myself. So it is what it is.
My barber told me he had did 3 years in a joint. He said he used to couldn't pee until told he could pee.
Man, I talked to a brother. He said, man, when I was in, I had to sit down and pee. I said, you had to sit down? He said, yeah, my cellmate was a lifer. And he said, hey, he knew the exact reach. If you pee standing up, whatever, he knew exactly how far it would lead from. He said, I got to live here the rest of my life. You only here for a short time. So, it ain't like pissing here. This is my home now. That's the last thing I ever want to have to say. Is jail is my home. The last thing.
Hey, and guess what? They're not playing.
No. Well, man, try to put hands on you if you ain't doing that. They're trying to put hands on you. Nah, I'm good. I don't want. Hey, I live my life by the standard. I don't want no smoke, bro. I don't want no smoke. Y'all got it.
When you're a big guy, everybody trying to bring you the smoke.
Hey, I don't go to the club no more. I don't want to step on nobody's shoes, and I don't want nobody stepping on my shoes. That's the first reason. But what I gained there? Do you even want to take somebody? You want to take somebody home, take them down through there, but are you gonna find anything of value at the club? No. A place of debauchery. That's all it is.
Hey man, it's sad, man. Because one thing I can say that I like about what we do, we're not trying to preach to you, but we do know who God is, man.
Yeah.
and that in itself is important because God is not something you just write on your shirt when you put Godspeed. People used to say that. You know, my Aunt Pa used to get in the car and say traveling mercies, man. And I believe in that. I know people laugh at that, but I used to think like, dang, thank God for traveling mercies. Thank God I made it to this destination. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. Hey, what they say? It's not a game. So,
and if you think it's a game, life will show you what a game really is. Life will show you.
I still pray for safe travels on the highways and byways. I still pray
hey,
for those things.
that's how you know we all. And you know what's funny? At one time, all blacks was growing up that same way,
No, it ain't like that.
paying for protection on the highways and byways for the seen and unseen danger.
Yeah.
But now, see, they don't believe that. They don't believe in God. So what they'll do, they lean on their own understanding. And what's that? You
What they
know,
learn online.
come on now.
What they learn. Hey, like you said, there was a time where even growing up, whether regardless of what religion it was, man, I tell the story all the time how I grew up doing Bible readings, Jehovah Witness style, respectfully. Grew up doing Bible readings, made me one of the greatest people that I could be or one of the great, made me the person that I am. Let me put it that way. Made me the person I am because at the end of the day, I got accountability to multiple individual, but definitely, man, I got to be accountable to all my actions. You know what I'm saying? And whether you see it or not, y'all may not see it. Nobody may never see it, but I still believe that the Most High see it. And so,
My grandma be eating ice cream, be eating ice cream. Never forget this. She was tearing that ice cream up. She used to love that butter pecan, the Edie's. And my baby was eating that ice cream. She said, God forgive me. God forgive me for being God forgive me for being a glutton. Just like that.
yeah.
God forgive me. She was tearing that ice cream up though.
But she understood, man. All this sugar ain't good for me.
And look, and when you think about little stuff like that, it just made me laugh. My baby's like, God forgive me for eating that.
My grandma,
Yeah,
she used
man.
to call me when I was in college. My grandma used to call me. She say, "I don't know what you doing down there, but I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you." And I was, and I'm thinking at the time, I was like, I ain't doing nothing crazy. But at the same time, and even then, you really don't understand. But just saying, man, I just want you to be safe. I want you to make sure you're making one of the greatest thing my mom ever told me: decisions. Make good decisions because you got to live with all your decisions. So you will prefer to make the good ones because it's much easier to live with the good ones than the bad ones. Make good decisions. And I don't care if it was prom, I don't care when it was. Before I give her a hug, I'm about to go out, whatever. You know what I'm saying? All right, make good decisions. You was raised right. There you go. There you go
And
right there.
that's the same thing my grandma said. Others can, you cannot. I should be like, I want to be cool too, man. I want to show I'm tough with my lugs on. I don't know if you guys remember lugs. We used to wear the lug boots. They
I ain't
look
never
like
had
Tim's.
I ain't never had no lugs, man. I ain't never
This
had
when
no
I
lugs.
was like probably 8 or 9. We used to have the lug boots, and this is like when they had this clothing line called Dada. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Hey, shout out to Dada, man. I used to have
And I had me a whole Dada suit,
hey, shout out to Dada.
and I used to be like, you know
I had
what?
shoes. I had
Go ahead.
shoes and clothes from Dada. I said I had shoes and clothes from Dada.
And I just remember my grandma used to tell me all the time, and she pointed at my feet. Good man's feet, a good man's steps ordered by the Lord. And you know what's funny? Because we was raised that way, we talk about boxing. That's what we do. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret if you don't know this. BBO uses boxing to talk to people about real issues because I believe that's what really matters. I love boxing. It's a great pastime. It's been a hobby of mine for a long time. But when I get on here, it's because I want to reach the people, man, and let people know, hey, BBO is not perfect, but God saved me, man. BBO had brain surgery. People don't know that, but God saved me. And I love that we can have these conversations like this. And then tomorrow we're gonna be rooting for my brother Jaleel Hackett as he go on his first fight with TKO, and that's beautiful to me because we gotta have versatility, man. Pimp C said it best. We can't have all of one thing. We got too many boxing people talking, calling people monkeys and tank lovers and TL whatever, but nobody want to talk about real stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody want to talk about real stuff. And you know what I learned about a lot of content creators in general, and I'm not calling nobody else, so please don't come for me though, because I don't want no smoke. A lot of these guys is lames in real life, goofballs, can't do nothing, and cool on the internet. Hey, one thing I always tell anybody, man, I want to have a good life, man. YouTube is great, but I want to have a good life, man. And yes, we building a business on here, but I want to have a good life, bro. I want you to have a good life. Because at the end of the day, nothing matters more than what you do with your family, what you do with your kids, what you do with your parents. Because, man, I would give anything to spend some time with my grandma again, bro. So if you got your grandmother, you got your mother, man, enjoy them, man. That's the most important, not the stupid stuff. Guess what? When Terrence Crawford get knocked out, the world's going to move on. That's simple. But You guys got anything before we got it? I'm gonna let you guys get the final words.
I'll pass it to three first.
Not nothing really, man. This was a great live BBO, man. Appreciate the platform as always. Man, listen, make sure y'all stay tapped in with the Sports Talk Network, the Network. A lot of good people, always a good opinions, and make sure y'all protecting the youth, man. Make sure y'all valuing the youth and spreading as much love as possible. Genuine love is something that you may risk a child being upset with you for being honest with him, for telling the truth to him. That's love, being keeping it real, not seeing wrong and it's okay, that ain't my child. So just man, listen, we gotta be role models, we gotta be examples, be more like BVO and help out these youth in the communities, man, and try to see them prosper because without right relationships, without support systems, without representation and people that they can look up to, great examples, there's no way that a youth can kind of develop into productive members of society. They need us to guide them, to build them up. So I mean, that's got to be our focus.
100% agree, and I second the motion. You know what I'm saying? If we was in using Robert's rules, you know what I'm saying? I'm seconding three motion. So, uh, man, absolutely be a coach. You know what I'm saying? You can do things so many different ways as far as affecting children. One of the things I love coaching. And really I don't love coaching because I'm good at it. I love coaching because I get a chance to sit there and talk to the kids. You know what I'm saying? Get a chance to ask, man, what your grades look like? What you got going on with this? Man, what y'all? Well, hold on, what music you listening to? You know, I get a chance to ask questions, and it's always funny because they always say, man, I love Coach Wright. Hey, I love Coach Wright. I love you too, man. You my hey, you know what I'm saying? So it's so many different ways to help the kids and to impact them. And I always think of it this way, man. You looking to we looking to build out here. We're not looking to destroy. And the easiest way to build is by talking, having conversations, and impacting those young guys um, in sports. If it ain't sports, then whatever you're good at. You know what I'm saying? And the kids love it. Just make sure that you talk to them, have that conversation with them, and tell them they got somebody in their corner. You know what I'm saying? That I'm looking for you to succeed. The last story, and like I told you, I got stories for days. I didn't turn into Fat Joe almost, man. I got so many damn stories. But one of the thing, one of the kids told me I was coaching a football team. This was probably in 2019, something like that, 2018. I think my son was about 3 at the time, and I'm coaching. And one of the kids, he come up, he say, "Coach, I got all A's." I said, "Oh, hold on, now you got all A's?" I said, "Let me see." He said, "I'm gonna bring you my report card tomorrow." I said, "If you bring me a report card with all A's on it, then we got to do something for you." So I went ahead and I bought everybody ice cream. You know, I got the ice cream ready. He bring the report card up there, it's all A's. I said, because and I don't want to say, I don't know how that work on YouTube, so I don't want to say no names, but because of that kid right there, the whole team got ice cream that day. I saw him 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I think he was in the 6th grade. So he was about in the 9th grade, something like that. And when I seen him, I said, "Man, what you got going?" Now he playing basketball, this, that, whatever. But he said, "Man, hey, coach, I still got all A's." That's what means something to me, if that makes sense. That's what means something to me. He made it a point to make sure I knew that he still was making A's out there. So you getting your lesson. I ain't got no problem with it. That's how, in my opinion, that's how you affect the youth. And as long as they understand they have somebody who care about them, man, I think that goes a long way for them, because a lot of times we just want somebody to believe in us. regardless if we good, bad, whatever it is, we just want somebody to believe in us.
Dub, I know
And
every name of those people that helped me. Miss Parnell, Coach Bo, um, Coach Eddie, Coach Nuge. You don't forget those people, man. You know, and you know the funny thing about it is, unfortunately, a lot of kids are not growing up with that. I seen a video with some kid. He got all A's. He went to the corner store, and the corner store made him a chopped cheese and like a Oreo milkshake. And the way that boy ran in there with them A's, it just lets you know kids are pure. Kids are pure, man. And I'm gonna say something real. I've had to learn as a father to be softer with my daughter because my grandma was rough, man. She was rough. She
whew,
grabbed you by the collar, bro. And I'm learning that you can't lead with that kind of fear. I was
hey,
afraid of my grandma, man. She was
you
six
gotta
two, 300
some
pounds, ready to
sometimes
go.
you gotta instill. You know, my same cousin that I was telling you about that's locked up now, right?
Hmm.
But if I see him today, yo, he gonna say,
Well,
"You remember that time your mama grabbed you and jacked you up on the wall?" Yes, man. Yes, I remember it. Yes, I do remember it. But sometimes, hey, as men, I think as men, we do it a little differently than women would. A
hmm.
lot of times, women have to gain that respect from that young boy. You know what I'm saying? They
Hmm.
gotta, nah, I gotta show you, you can't whoop me. Whereas as men, I know you can't whoop me, but it ain't about you whooping me. Because if I need to, I'll put hands on you. But I try my best to not to resort to that. I don't want to resort to it. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's why I think men are so important because a man ain't gonna get tried the same way a female would as far as kids go. When we come, even when we have discussions, when we face to face, it's always a tad bit of threat of violence there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you get too far out of order, all right, all right, it's always that threat there. Whereas when it comes to a woman, it ain't really that same threat because I say it respectfully. 9 times, hell, 10 times out of 10, I ain't even gonna lie. A woman ain't gonna whoop me.
No.
But at the same time, they'll talk crazy to you because they have that protection as far as you're gonna go to jail, all that kind of stuff. So then when it comes, the dynamic comes between a young child and a grown woman,
Hmm.
there's a different dynamic there. But sometimes you got to be physical with them kids.
Yeah.
We don't have to be nearly as physical because it's already understanding. It's a natural. It's a law of nature. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? When the lions, you know what I'm saying, when the head of the pride, you know what I'm saying, the big lion had children. After a while, they get kicked out. They got to go on their own. They got to go start their own pride. Because if it come down to it, we gonna get the smoke. So I do think there is room there, but hence the reason the lack of violence from men toward children is going to be even more important simply because we hold a different role than what a female does. And that role isn't necessarily physical, but it is physical in nature simply because, all right, I can't whoop this dude. I already know I can't whoop him. I tried to fight my stepdad, bro, on everything I love. I tried to fight my stepdad when I was in seventh grade, probably.
Hmm.
And he was injured at the time. The man, he had on what you call it, he had an elbow injury from baseball, right? I can't remember. It
Hmm.
wasn't arthritis, but and I'm thinking, hey, at that time I'm probably already by 5'9", 5'10". He ain't nothing but 5'10", 5'11". I'm
Hmm.
thinking I can get him. Man, that nigga bounced me and pinned me to the ground so fast. And my mama, she tell me now, she was like, you hurt his elbow, cause it was but it wasn't no violence even to beat her, cause he pinned me down to the point. Nah, you finna calm down. And until I let you, and man, it just frustrated me so much. But I realized, okay, all right, I ain't finna just whoop this dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. He got grown man strength. So it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different when it comes to females. But man, I just at the end of the day, everybody got their role, and we will we will put here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I do know that men are very necessary in their children's life. And man, BBA, you doing a hell of a job. We free do a hell of a job. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till my brother 3 have kids. Hey, 3, when you get married, man, just invite me to the wedding. That's all I ask for. Just invite me to the wedding. But man, love
You
y'all.
only
And
fight might have two
I
blacks
got
there.
you,
You got to
family.
watch him. He only gonna have like 2 blacks there.
hey, I'm gonna be one of them. I'm gonna be one. I'm gonna be in attendance, man. I'm gonna be in attendance.
100%. Hey, with this rate, with what happened today, you got to be careful with the older whites.
You're right.
Lord have
That
mercy.
ain't even funny. I ain't even gonna laugh at that. That ain't. But you're right. You're right about that. Man. All right,
You
man.
right. You right.
Who am I? Who am I?
Look at my brothers, man.
Love
Hey
y'all,
man,
Appreciate y'all.
Always love,
love you too,
man.
man. And we out of here, man.
Peace.
Peace.